How powerful is social media marketing?
All right. So to answer this question, I want to give a quote to start off with, right? You know how they say the less you know, the happier you are, the more you know, the sadder you are, right? That's how I feel like social media marketing has been for me, because the more I realize how powerful social media is, the more I realize how corrupt what we are fed every single day is, right? So you want to know the power of social media for your business. Look around you at all the businesses using social media to influence things. Let me give an example. So recently, obviously, everyone knows that girl was found, Claire Smith, she was lost, right? And obviously, there's heaps of kids that have gone missing in Australia, but that story is what's focused on, right? And previously, there was a little kid who was lost in Sydney that Nine News marketed the shit out of, right? Basically selling a story to us about how they found the kid or whatever. Now, what I've like observed with the media is that they have a powerful political voice because of the way they use social media, right? They constantly go to stories, not that people are actually caring about. Like, for example, if it was something we cared about, we'd hear about every single kid that got missing, not only the interesting stories, right? But it seems because the other story got so much traction, they've sold this story in the same way, right? And what this has done is it showed how important people are using social media. So now they know that, like, you know, kids and these stories are what's getting the most engagement on their pages and stuff, right? Another example is Daniel Andrews, right? Daniel Andrews, regardless of what you believe about the vaccination, he's obviously had to push forward his political beliefs, right? He's had to push forward what he believes about the vaccine, those types of things. He paid $800,000 on social media managers to advertise his Facebook, right? So if you're thinking about it, these are multi-million-dollar politicians, and they're using social media to portray a certain message. That should be enough to tell you how important social media is when you're pushing forward that owner, when you're wondering like, oh, like, why would I ever need to push forward my political speech? Why? Well, use it for good, right? What I believe is when people use social media as a political standpoint to push forward their political agenda, I believe that's bad marketing that works, right? In the bad way. It's notorious for that, right? But when you're using it in a business to portray a good message, to portray how you bring value to people, to portray who you are as a person, and you do it in the exact same way that Nine News has done it, Daniel Andrews has done it, all these massive political stances, then you're able to thrive off a business that has a following, right? And the principles are the exact same. You're going to be posting about a wide variety of things that are like with your business, right? And you're going to see what people interact with the most, what people are engaging with the most, and what people aren't engaging with the most. And you're going to put more of that. Just like Nine News has done with these kids' stories about how they keep selling us stories and like fear mongering and that type of thing. Regardless if you believe like they're doing it genuinely or not, they're definitely doing it because they're getting the most interaction, most engagement. I had 5 people today come up to me to tell me about that little kid, that they found that little kid. So obviously, if you're looking at it from a marketing standpoint, taking away the morals, the stories, and everything, right? They've marketed it really well. The whole world knows about it, right? And then take it back to Squid Game as well. Like, it was a organic marketing scheme that came from a South Korean drama. South Korean dramas, like in Netflix for centuries, have never had any real share in the market. Never. Why? Because it's always better. Americans have always thrived, right? Now, South Koreans have set this precedent upon all others movies that they don't need multi-million-dollar paid marketing, right? They don't need like what Drake does with his albums. You see how Drake puts like fucking billboards and billboards and billboards and billboards, right? That Squid Game didn't need that. Squid Game needed organic marketing that really appealed to the people, right? And Squid Game came out recently, right? And talking on this topic, Squid Game came out and they said that, you know, we wanted to advertise Squid Game like how people advertise the horses. You know how the rich people in Squid Game bet on the people who's going to survive? Like we bet on the horses, and how relevant Melbourne Cup just started, right? And it's this marketing that shows the true power of social media, because these people have the money. Not necessarily Squid Game, they didn't have the money, but like Daniel Andrews and like Nine News, all these types of people, they have the money. They have all the money to do all the billboard marketing in the world. So if you're watching this episode and you don't understand my point yet, let me ask you something. If you had all the money into the world to control every single advertisement, every single billboard around the world, why would you still focus on organic advertising? When you understand that, let me know and come back to me.